Did you know that there is actually a formula to doubling your sales? Sadly, most salespeople just wing the math to try to get themselves to increase sales. This leads to very disappointing results. A few years back, I created a mathematical formula to actually double sales. It involves 3 components to increasing sales and combining all of them together to create multiplicative growth. I call it the 2x formula. And what's amazing about it is that it lays out the strategy to blow up your sales without ever having to work harder. It's all about working smarter to increase your sales. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact formula to double your sales while working less than you do now. Check it out. So we are here at my studio whiteboard, and I'm going to walk you through this formula. And mind you, there is some math, but I promise you, if you hang in there, you're going to see a whole new way of increasing sales. To start, there are 3 ways to actually increase sales. The first is to increase the number of customers. And so by that, I mean literally either increasing your closing ratio, prospecting more, getting more customers, closing more sales. The second way to increase sales is by increasing the average sale size. And so this means either increasing your price or adding more into your average sales so the average price goes up. The third way to increase your sales is to increase the frequency of purchase. So getting your existing customers or your new customers to buy more often from you. How often are your customers buying from you right now? With this laid out, the 3 ways of increasing sales, now we're going to actually take a look at the 2x formula. So the 2x formula looks something like this. In order to 2x your sales, you are going to increase the number of customers by 26%. So increase your customers by 26%, you multiply by 1.26. Don't worry too much about the math. You're going to increase the average sale size by 26%. And then lastly, you're going to increase the frequency by 26%. So again, 1.26 times frequency. When you multiply these all together, you get a 2x increase in sales. So let me actually walk you through an example of how this looks. Again, don't freak out. This is really, really powerful stuff, and you're going to see it all come together in a second. So now let's look at the example of Denise. Denise was a client of mine who owned a marketing business, and I'm going to show you how we applied this formula to her business to help her actually double sales. Her business broke down quite simply. She had about 1,000 customers, so she was selling mostly to small businesses and had a customer base of about 1,000 people. Her average sale, on average, was pretty close to $1,000. And on average, her customers were buying from her once a year. So 1 time per year. This is a pretty decent business, but at the time she wasn't really earning that much profit. The revenues of this business, by the way we would calculate her revenues, we multiply these 3 numbers together. So she had a $1 million business, which again, this is revenues, this isn't profit. So her profit was considerably lower than that, just kind of getting by with these numbers. Now, if most people were to look at and say, how does Denise double her sales? Most people would look at just one component of the business in order to try to double sales. So they might say, well, in order to double sales, we would increase the number of customers to, let's say, double that and get it to 2,000 customers. But that's really, really hard to do, right? To go from 1,000 customers to 2,000 is really difficult. So that's out. The other way would be to double her sale size. Instead of the average purchase being $1,000, make it $2,000. But again, that's really, really difficult. So we'll say that that's out as well. And then lastly, we could double the frequency of purchase. So getting her customers, instead of buying once a year, buying twice a year. But again, this is difficult stuff. So that option is out as well. So what do you actually do to get Denise to double sales? We run it through the 2x formula. So I'm going to actually erase this, and I'm going to plug her numbers right into what we did. So in order to double sales with Denise, we increased the number of customers by 26%. So we took 1,000 customers and multiplied it by 1.26, which comes out to 1,260 customers. This is not that big of a change, right? Most people, if you really look at your business, you say, I could increase my sales, or I could increase the number of customers by 26%. Totally reasonable change. The next is so that's customers. The next is the sales size, so the average size. So, through some technique, which you can find in other videos and some different strategies, we were able to get her to increase her average sale size by 26%. So instead of her average sale being $1,000, we multiplied it by 1.26, and we got the average sale size to $1,260. These are surprisingly close to the numbers that we actually got with her too. And then lastly, we increased the frequency of purchase by just a little bit. So the frequency, instead of 1 time per year, we multiplied it by 1.26. So it came out to 1.26 purchases per year, which, by the way, if you think of it more simply, it's really a purchase every 9.5 months or so. So 9.5 months. So instead of people buying from her once a year, we put some packages and programs in place to get customers to buy just a little bit more frequently. Does that make sense? When we multiply these numbers together, this is how we get her revenues now. Again, using the 2x formula, I'll remove that 9.5 months. And so we just multiply these 3 numbers together. And what we get are revenues of $2,376. $2,376. Can you see what we just did here? We multiplied each of these factors, the number of customers, the average sale size, and the frequency, by 26%. We increased each just incrementally. But because this is multiplication, it actually leads to an increase in sales of $2 million. She went from $1 million the year before to $2 million now. Can you see how powerful that is? So even if you're looking at this math and you're going cross-eyed and you're like, brr, it really doesn't matter. All you have to worry about is that increase each of these 3 areas by just 26%. All that matters is this simple number, 26%. It's a very, very simple number. It's very attainable, very doable. And when you do that, you can double your sales. Really, really powerful distinction. So there is the exact formula to double your sales while working less than you do now. Can you apply this to your own business? If so, how would it look? Be sure to share below in the comments section, and I'll be sure to respond to every comment that I can. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have this awesome free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goals. Just click right here to get it instantly. Seriously, it's an amazing book and it's free. Just click right here. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube because that really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking right here to get access to a new video just like this one each week. Lastly, if you got just one useful idea from this video, please share it with a friend or two. A great idea is the best gift you can give someone. Until next week.